What just happened there?
So first things first, what we are discussing is going to be what are the odds or the percentages of people getting first place.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna take into account the winners and the losers, obviously. So the first number crunch we have is 5-time champ out of 9 years, which comes out to a solid 55%, 56%. Repeating, of course, chance of winning for Big E. In second, for first place as well, we have Adrian at a solid 44% win rate. Not bad at all. So here comes the dilemma to where we need to calculate everybody else's percentage of getting first. So we're going to go down the list here and calculate your guys' percents on winning first based on the years you guys, how well you've done or how not so well you've done. So let's begin. We're gonna start with.
So third place, who would we put? Probably Danny.
We're gonna start with Danny boy here. And full disclosure, we're gonna start that.
We're just gonna go in order of who we think is gonna go third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Yes. In terms of their best chances to get
those
first place.
Yes.
However, full disclosure again, it's going to be a very tight race.
Very tight race.
So, not because you guys suck, but because it's just going to be the way the cookie crumbles. All right.
Basically, you guys are making it hard for yourselves to contend in these percentages.
And us, you're making it very difficult, making these long nights to figure this out for you guys. But so you know your odds.
Yeah.
So Danny here. He's a strong starter, not the best finisher. He tends to start strong, get the lead, and then just kind of, I don't know.
I think the weakness in his game is he gets nervous.
He gets
nervous.
The adrenaline kicks in, and maybe he reels too fast. I mean, we really don't know.
Is he ready for the big stage? That's the question.
Is he ready for the three stages? I don't know. I don't know, Snoop. I don't know, Mother
That's
Crank.
a good question.
But I think out of the other contenders that we have and the performances that they have shown over the past 8 years, 9 years, or 3 years for some individuals, I think my other thought here is though. I mean, Nick's not bad. He's 1 for 3. So that's out of the few years he's gone. He's really kicked it up last year. So I think we're gonna have to go with Danny
as consistency.
For consistency reasons. As a top 3 for sure. Number 3 for a chance of getting first.
Here's the thing. So we'll stick with Danny in third. We have to give him a percentage of what we think.
We got to rank him as a percent. I think he's got potential to hang in there for the next 4 days after the first 2 or 3 days go by, to really seal the deal and lock it in and put the nail in the coffin. Because he could have a solid 2-3 days and could get a weight that we can't reach.
Because Danny has something that I actually am jealous of. Danny, above all, has a lot of luck. He has a lot of luck.
I can't tell you how many times he's almost reeled up a fish and their hooks were covered. That's impressive.
Or how many times he looks up and he's like, oh shit, I have a fish.
I mean, the amount of times that man has looked down at his phone and the reel almost comes out, the rod almost comes out of his hand because something's running with it, I can't even count that number that high.
I can't even make that happen.
So I'm thinking...
After this message, we'll come back with Danny's percentage.
We're here between two cranks, me and my Snoop.
We're about to give Danny his percentage of winning first place. What do you think? I think so. Let's go 20. 23 repeating. Let's go. Okay.
Alright, so we have come to the conclusion that Danny Blanquel is going to be stuck at a 23% and 3 repeating, of course, percent chance of getting first.
I agree. He comes in strong. If he can just hold on, he needs to work on that stamina to finish at the end. Not be a quick shooter.
Yeah.
But if he can get that done, I think he'd be a good contender.
He'll be a real contender for the top dog, number 1 and 2.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on to our next contender.
So it's gonna be George.
And
so this is who we think has the 4th best chance of winning first place.
And that's going to be Joe Man here. You know, I have to respect the Johnson setup. It's a clean setup. It gets the Northerns. I mean, I respect it. It's a clean setup. I don't have one myself yet, but I will get one. I promise you, buddy. It just does well. That little freaking tail. I mean, he does great work. I mean, we can't complain. He's generally in the 4th, 5th spot over the years that he's been going with us. So I think we're gonna have to lock him in at number 4, number 4 runner. So we've officially locked Joe in at our number 4 runner.
Because he's always right there. He's in the middle. He's in the battle. He just gets locked in the middle. He can't quite come around.
He's got the great stamina to finish the race and be where he's at. He's just got to get that. He's got to get that kicker fish, and that's what's gonna make him run with the big dogs. You know, he needs that 8-pounder, 9-pounder, in some cases 25. It's not important, but he needs that kicker fish to get him up to the top 2, top 1 for sure.
And I think he can get it. I mean, he's someone that actually puts a little strategy behind his attack.
His approach, technique, we're gonna call it. You know, and I do hear a lot of stories of him missing fish, so I think he's got to just capitalize on those chances. And he misses a lot of good ones. So
if he cuts down on those mistakes, I think he can be he can really battle it for the top.
I think so. We're gonna have a fun year ahead of us. You know, after even still some deliberation, it's tough. I feel like Joe and Danny here would go head to head.
Yeah, but because Danny has shown more consistency to be at the top a little bit longer, I'd say.
And at some point in the race.
At some point in the beginning, he's
in
the race.
I don't know if Joe has made the top of the rank yet, even at the beginning of the race. So we don't know, but I think we're going to put him around a solid 20%, to getting first this year.
I think that's good.
I think he might have, put some more effort in this year and, really working the lures and got a lot of good pictures from him. So we're excited to see what he's going to bring to the table this year.
I think so.
We're here, obviously, between my Snoop here, between 2 cranks. We are going to fill our number 5 spot here in the Blanquel Classic.
Now, before we say this next one, it was tough. It was tough because there's a lot to consider. We have a new contender, a young gunner, if you will.
New to the game.
Came in brand new, didn't know what he was doing, but decided to jump in with the big dogs. Well, 2 big dogs. Started off rough the first couple of years, but then last year he put on quite a show. Let me tell you, he was just slinging them out there.
A very noisy contender with the things he was using, but he held to his guns and stuck to what he believed was going to work, and I mean really put up the numbers and gave me a little scare. So all in all, you guys know our 5th pick, I believe, and that's going to be Nick.
So currently we're discussing Nick's performance because he's pretty up there as far as being put in 3rd, but my thing is,
he has improved a lot, and we got to take that into consideration.
The first 2 years, he really didn't do very hot.
And it's tough, but we respect it because a man who's never done it before, sticking with it and putting into work and the time, the man hours, really stepped up last year and worried me for a little bit. But folks, at a 55% rate, I was not worried. Let me tell you one bit.
Here's the big question: will he have a sophomore slump?
We freshman 15. We don't know. We're gonna see what he brings to the table this next year.
The thing we can say about between Nick and Joe, or Nick and Danny, is Danny shows consistency to start off strong every year and year out.
Yes,
Nick has only shown 1 year. Is that a sign that that's his potential, or was that a fluke?
Or that his peak?
We
don't know.
With Nick, the only thing that kind of hurt his numbers, he is a one-trick pony. So
big words.
If his one trick doesn't work, what will he do?
And we hope that he's gonna be a magician and pull something out of his hat. And from what we have seen, I think he's been broadening his horizons.
I've heard he's been in training.
And, you know, he's really putting in the man hours and
By
trying,
number 6.
yes, 100%. Trying those new things. And that's why we put him there. And the reason he is where he's at, he's had about 3 years with us, correct me if I'm wrong. I would like to say I'd like to say 1 out of 3. He's 30%. I mean, for the years he's gone, he's 30% killing it. So it's not that bad.
We just got to see if he can repeat.
We got to see if he can repeat, if not do better. So we are very looking forward to see his number. And so just getting close, I think.
Yeah, we should.
So we're up to tell it here right after this break. Be back after these messages.
Here we are to number 6.
Our 6th spot in the first place is Nick, and we are putting him at a whopping 18%. 2% away from Joe, so he's nipping at his heels. He's young runner. He's ready to come back and make a name for himself. Get out there.
That is true, and I wish him well. I hope he does. He's been putting in the hours during the summer. He's doing everything he can to kind of catch up to those that have been further ahead as far as putting time in the water.
Experience as well is going to be a huge factor, as well as experience on those waters. I mean, a lot of us have been to those waters a long time, so I give him props for. Obviously, we're on the same boat, so it helps and know where everyone's going. But being on those new waters, knowing what's been working, what works and what doesn't work in those waters, it's tough. So he's definitely. I look forward to seeing how he's gonna perform. It's gonna be good.
Let's run through the first top 5.
We're gonna run through our first top 5 numbers. So we have
winning first place. I just want to make that clear.
Yep. So here's our percentages that we think, as myself and my Snoop here between 2 cranks feel are going to be the contenders in their percents for this year. Myself, a solid 56%. Adrian here, my Snoop, is going to be a solid 44%. Repeating, of course. D-Man, Danny, is going to be a 23%. I feel like he's nipping. He's trying to get there. 23 for Dan. Joe, 20%. Not bad. Very close. All tight race, guys, after that first and second gap.
It's neck and neck.
It's very close. It could go either way for 3rd place. So we have Nick at a 18%. So after that recap, we're going to go on to our 6th spot.
After these messages. Okay, so Snoop. So we've decided to put Matus as the number 6 for the chances of winning first place.
Yes, and once again, it's a lot is going into this, and really considering and thinking about what has happened over the years and where we're at in life. So we're here putting him at number 6. Once again, he is a very strategic man, very knowledgeable. Like I said, very knowledgeable, easily top 3, possible top 3 contender, hands down. However,
he's someone I would take with me if I had to join a tournament. I would be comfortable taking him with me.
Correct. Once again, it's that one time a week out of the whole year that you just need a little bit of that X factor. You need a little bit of that luck factor as well as without the X factor. So we that's why we chose to put him at 6th spot, and it's a little sad, because we like to see our master, still hold his ranks and show his guns, but sometimes the pupils become the masters, and they need to spread their knowledge and let other people know how to get to a 56%.
This might be a case of, if you can't play, you teach.
That's another option, I mean, maybe it's even an option of passing the baton. You've had your fun, not in our tournament, but you've had your fun fishing, and you did good all those times, and now it's just, hey, let the young bucks go. So we will, after this break, we will tell you guys Matus's
percentage.
And we're back. So I have spoken with my co-counsel here, the other crank, and we have decided the following number.
Well, again, very hard decision, very tough. It hurts me given this number. You're splitting hairs here. So we're going to put him at a 17.5% chance of winning first place. Number 6 on our list. But I hope he proves me wrong.
I agree. I hope all of them prove us wrong and get possible second.
Yeah, potentially.
So the odds are not going to lie, though. They're going to be pretty close and spot on, I believe.
Yeah, this is what's going to pretty much cap our list here for potentially winning first place. We're going to put in 7th place Little Man X and Big Lou.
Yes. So we have decided to throw these two goofballs into the same category and the same ranking as well. And it's tough because the Lou Man, as we were discussing earlier, he's going for the bangers.
Yeah.
He's going for the Hail Mary, and
He wants to hit that grand slam and call it a day.
I mean, to win a football game, you can't throw Hail Marys every single play. You gotta run the ball. You gotta pass the ball.
You have to set the game up for the Hail Mary. You can't start with the Hail Mary.
And you can't have just one play, or the defense is gonna know what you're doing.
Exactly.
So that's the way we figured that out. So
He does play good defense.
he does play good
He
defense.
tries to hook the competition.
Yes, he does. That is a fact, figuratively and literally. And on to our other contestant, I guess. I'm not sure what else to say about this gentleman. But all in all, regardless, we love having these individuals here. They make the trip, they make the memories.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we have decided to put Lou as well as X into the same category. And Xavier, as we were discussing earlier, he was a young buck, throwing the door around with the bobber and the hooks and stuff like that, and the worms and
short attention span.
Yes, very goofy character. At times distracted others, and it was all fun and games.
And hooked others as well as
hooked others. They were both hookers.
He's still a young kid with untouched potential because he's still growing and he doesn't always fish.
He strived for other goals that weren't related to those weekly goals that we all set and expected and tried to hit as well. Some of his goals were beat some of my cousins in FIFA.
He didn't reach those goals either.
Yes, those backfired immediately. Or wrestling Eric, and then calling for Poppy's help. So it was a lot of unrealistic goals that maybe just don't reach for the stars. Maybe because then there'd be no one left on earth. So keep the goals realistic. And that would be it for those two.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna give them our percents after
these messages. The number that we decided to give Lou and Xavier coming in at the seventh spot is a solid 5%.
5%. And as well, guys, you got to understand these numbers, as well as they are, 98% accurate. There's still a chance for some wiggle room. I mean, even a few spots, people to move up and down. It's going to be a fun year this year.
It really is. I'm telling you guys, after the first 2 places, it's a head-to-head race.
It's going to be
we don't even know.
Anybody's game.
Or just Naples is really what it is.
Yes, it could be anybody's game after the first and second place has been filled by myself or Snoop between 2 cranks. But I'm going to love to see how you guys match up with each other.
It'll be quite the show.
A lot of experience, I think, has been gained from a lot of these individuals. Maybe not so much X. If you have a FIFA tournament, maybe he might step up a little. Who knows? Probably not.
I think it'll be a little bit better because you know what? Something that I saw last year is we saw a lot of these people following us to our spots.
Yes, that is true. So now
that increases their chances.
On top of everything, they're even more knowledgeable of some of the 56 percenters and the 45, 44 repeating, percenters. I mean, they're getting a taste of some of the sweet spots, and we're just gonna have to hope that they have the luck that Matus does and just doesn't pull those big ones out.
Kind of like what my Snoop said to Danny in one of the videos that I have up on my channel. Subscribe and hit the like button. We can put you on the fish, but we can't catch them for you.
And that's the truth, my friends. It's, you know, just because you're on the same boat, don't mean you're catching the same fish.
Amen to that.
Truth and facts. We will both cheer to that, and we will be back to you after these messages. We're here at the end of the hour, the countdown.
During this episode, we pretty much covered everyone's percentage chances of getting first place. So let's just round this out from beginning to end. For first place, the person with the highest chance of winning comes Eric at 56% because he has won 5 times already, and he typically does come in second place a lot. So he's always up there, giving him the biggest chance. In second place, it is yours truly with 44% chance of winning because, well, 44 chance. How many trophies do I have? 4. Look at that, but who's counting, you know? Let's ignore the background music over here going on. In third place, coming in strong with a consistent start, but shaky finishes, Danny, closing it in at 23%. So we're just hoping to see some strong finish from Danny this year. Hopefully, if he can just keep that stamina up and going. And
I think he's got to take a bit of a instead of the hare approach, maybe the tortoise. You know, the slow and steady wins the race. Not
I think
so much,
he tires himself out.
I think he just, you know, he goes in there full speed. And
He's trying to do a 100-meter race speed when he's doing a marathon.
Yeah, he's doing a long race. He's got to pace himself, stay true to the course, and, you know, like I said, be more of a tortoise, not a hare, Dan.
And not to panic.
You know, don't freak out, buddy, even though you're in first for a few days.
All right, so that was Danny with third. Next, we had Joe in fourth place with his chance of winning first place being 20%. Again, he's always consistently in the middle of the road. He just needs to really get over that hump, you know?
He's in the middle of the pack, and it's going to be, I think this year is going to determine really where he's going to be in the packs of future years. If he's going to push to the front, or he's going to, you know, be the hare and it's going to forget about everything. He's going to get last.
Is he going to try and move up and be more of an alpha, or is he going to stay a little bit more of a beta?
We don't know, and that's why it's an exciting year for everybody to see how they're going to end up from 3rd to 7th. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, and then here we go next to 5 and 6, very close by a half percentage. Is we have
thread the needle, really.
Thread the needle, really. It doesn't get any closer than this, but we have Nick and Matus. Nick at 5,
first.
Matus at 6.
And this is a razor thin line here at 18% for Nick, and a solid. Strong. I almost want to put a question mark at the end of it because it's just, you know, you never really know with this guy. Nick at 18 and Matus at a 17.5%.
That will be a good race to watch.
That will be a good race between those two to see who gets whatever place, 3rd to 7th.
And they're usually on the same boat, so hey.
And exactly that. Once again, I think a luck factor is going to kick in here and see how they do in that aspect. You know, and being in the same boat also, it's fun and all, but sometimes you get cause problems. You know, if you look over and you see he's using a green lizard, are you gonna whip out old green? I mean, we don't really know. So it's gonna be fun to see how those two do, because they do generally are on the same boat most of the time. So, and that's why they're so close as well, probably. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe they're both going to the worst spots together. So who knows?
And we'll top it off.
And we'll top it off real quick, so you guys can go home, spend time with your family, live life, do everything, have dreams and goals. So we're going to top it off here with X and Lou at a solid 5%, solid, or I would say loose. So loose 5%, and I almost want to call them X factors because you don't really know. They both, Lou will not be here this year, unfortunately, but we're still going to leave him at 5% at that matter. Still family, still love them. We love you, Lou. X, we hope to see you. I believe you're going, I'm not sure.
Hope to see you more on the boat.
Hope to see you more on the boat and less on the FIFA, buddy. But
you both need practice.
You both need practice, so maybe a little bit of both. Divide your time up, X. But other than that, I think that's going to conclude our percents, guys. This between two cranks, and once again, these are our statistics, our numbers,
Yeah.
most likely 98, 99% accurate about what are the odds of someone winning first place and going from top to bottom. So we love you guys.